Hello guys, welcome to another Source Gaming discussion. This is your host, Push Dustin, and joining me today is Spazzy.
Hey guys!
He's the article lead for Source Gaming. And today we'll be talking about the last week's Smash news.
Exciting stuff. It is exciting stuff. We learned that Duck Hunt would be in the game, because we didn't know that before. I'm very much of the opinion, by the way, that Sakurai and the team should not have released all of those videos when because it would be interesting to actually go over people's movesets now. But
yeah, I feel exactly the same way. I'm like, they blew their load at E3. Like, they could have had this automatic hype train keep going, and I think it kind of spoiled a lot of Smash fans because we got so much information all at once.
Right, and I mean, the everyone is here is fine, but they didn't need to have everyone is here plus trailers of everybody that wasn't here, and by I mean wasn't at the E3 demo. Yeah. But, you know, whatever. This is a very different Smash cycle. I hope people are still hyping responsibly. I feel like people are expecting the same amount of kind of Smash news in a smaller time frame. But I don't know, man. We already have so much stuff. But let's go over what we've seen.
We have 15 weeks left, by the way.
Ooh, that is. Man, what are our plans? We should discuss that. What are our plans for when the game releases?
We have a couple.
Yeah, I mean, I've taken that Friday off. I'm like, nah, I'm not working, man. That's Smash Day.
I have to work on that day because I think I don't have any more Fridays I can take off.
I mean, just like stab your leg or something. Just say, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm hoping that we'll get the game actually early for review.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah, hopefully.
But I mean, even if we do, we'll probably get 1 or 2 codes. So it's not going to cover everybody. We might get like an EU code. Like the best case scenario, I feel like, is an EU code, Japanese code, and a North American code. If everything is, amazing.
But
and obviously,
probably
a
not.
North American code because screw everyone else. I've been here longest. I get dibs.
No, I get dibs because I started the site.
Damn it. Well, you had the Japanese code, remember? Okay, let's talk about this week.
No. Well, starting off with this week, we well, you didn't mention, but we had the Villager trailer, where we saw the Villager.
So now we know Villager is in the game.
Yep, and he has that new icon for when he pocket things.
Yeah, I mean, once again, it's a trailer I've seen before. I don't get too excited about the trailers.
Yeah.
And Villager, was Villager playable in the demo? I think he was, right?
I think so. I have a feeling he was.
Yeah, I have a feeling he was too. I feel like he's one of the least changed characters in the game. I feel like most characters have some small changes. He has that, quality of life change where you can see what has been pocketed. But besides that, like, he seems almost identical. Yeah. Yeah.
And like graphics-wise, he doesn't seem that much more like animated or anything, as far as I can tell.
No, yeah, he was definitely in the demo. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
That's cool. Villager's cool. Let's move on.
Okay. Next day we have Dark Pit, one of the original Echoes.
Right. One of the original palette swaps from. They list his game. His game of origin is Kid Icarus Uprising, but we all know it's actually Brawl because he was one of
Sakurai's OCs.
Yeah. I actually, this whole Echo thing, I wonder if it's getting people to like Dark Pit more, because I haven't really heard anything negative or positive about him.
I'm really curious about that. I would like to do another Mega Smash poll, because one of the things that I constantly track with the Mega Smash poll is people's receptions toward different characters, like how they, if they view them favorably or if they don't like them. And Dark Pit has always been the most hated character in the roster. Like, Bayonetta was starting to increase with the last one that I did, but I don't think she overtook Dark Pit.
I would love if I can do a squad strike when this game comes out of all like dark versions of characters. That's my goal.
Link has that dark Link Echo, the Shadow Link Echo.
Well,
not the Echo, but
it's a costume.
alt. Yeah.
It's a good costume. Yeah, and I guess there's also Dark Meta Knight.
And Kirby as well, I think, right? He has a kind of a dark version of himself.
That's not really Dark Kirby, though. I feel like he's just like Meta Knight without a mask. So yeah, I mean, at least I have Shadow Link, and there's also is there Toon Shadow Link and Young Shadow Link?
I don't know about Young Link because they haven't shown off.
No. It's on the site. If you go to the site,
oh, okay.
Yeah, they have him in his shadow. And I will also accept edgy rival characters as long as they have a black palette. So Shadow the Hedgehog would count.
Yeah, if Shadow gets in.
Right. So I'm pulling for that.
Yeah.
Shadow, I have some insider information, guys. Shadow's going to be in, but he's going to be the most unique Echo. Because every one of his special moves is taken from a character that's not Sonic. He has Mewtwo's up B, he has Wolf's neutral special, he has Wario's side B, and he has Bayonetta's down B. He's going to be broken.
He's going to pull out that motorcycle and shoot guns.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. No, but yeah, Dark Pit, I actually... I like Pit, Pit, I'm not a Pit main, but Pit's one of my alts. I like using him every now and then. I pull him out. I actually like Dark Pit better, with the exception of the arrows, which is a big thing, which is why I still like using Pit a lot. But I like Dark Pit's design. There are some differences in his design. It's not just the color palettes. There's some small differences. And I like his taunts, and I like his victory music. And I actually kind of like him in Uprising. He's a fun character. He's like a little petulant, like rebellious Pit, because it's not it's the whole dark trope. It's like I'm your opposite, and Pit's defining characteristic isn't being a good person. It's being very loyal. So his defining characteristic is being like, no, I'm just really
YOLO.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of dig Dark Pit. So I'm glad to see he's back. I don't think the trailer shows us anything that we didn't know from the last game. He also looks pretty similar. So I will say this: I think Pit and Dark Pit are some of the, if you compare them to their Smash Wii U models, are some of the most improved. They look a lot better.
Yeah, they like that's what was kind of referencing with the Villager. Like Pit and Dark Pit, they look much more animated. Like they have a lot of great expressions and stuff like that.
And their hair looks a lot better too.
Yeah. Like I feel in general, like they have really done a lot of great, like reactions. Like they have this fantastic picture on the website where they show Squirtle like freaking out because of the gold Pikachu.
Yeah, and I feel like for the cartoony characters more, because I feel like when you look at like Crom might just be like a newer edition, and he just might not be completed yet. But like I feel like his face is a little off, and
yeah, Crom looks empty.
Yeah, he looks like he has no soul.
Yeah, I posted that image on Twitter, and like I got a bunch of replies like, I fight for I don't know, just because, or I fight to fill my void or something like that.
Well, because it's not really Crom. It was the Crom Mii Fighter costume that made a wish to become a real boy.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's move on to that.
I hope that Mii Fighter costume is still in. I hope they still bring back Mii Fighter costumes. And that Crom is there, because I will make them fight.
It would be odd if they didn't bring back the Mii Fighter costumes, because it looks like they're doing more to make Mii's customizable. Like, they added voices. Why would you add voice options to make it more customizable and then remove... I don't know.
I'm just getting nervous because they haven't shown off a single costume yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'll be a focus on the next Direct, but we'll see. And I hope that if they do bring back costumes, that they do bring back all of the old costumes and bring back I'm one of those people that actually enjoyed the Mii's, so I'm not...
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have issues with them, but yeah, they're not using competitive play. Yeah, why, like, they're not, exactly Nintendo All-Stars, but when you go through the entire roster, and even if we have a roster of 80-something characters, even if it gets that high, there's still going to be a point 3 years down the road where you played everyone, you're like, oh, let me just mess around with the Mii's for a while. I like any sort of user-created content in games,
What? I kind of like just putting on like the characters that will never be characters, like Chocobo. Like I like putting that costume on and in my mind playing as Chocobo.
Yeah, I don't know. It was fun. I like to. Last game, what I did is, because I like everything to be video game characters, I actually made a different one Mii Fighter using my Mii of each type. But then I to have each move set that the Mii had, I'd have 3 gunners, 3 Mii Fighters, and 3
Swordsman.
and I'd base them all off of a costume. Like, this is Lloyd and Takamaru and Crom, I think, were my sword fighters. So stuff like that. So yeah, you know, it gives you like a little more options and something else to play when you get bored.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope it comes back.
Yeah. Well, on Wednesday we actually had a little bit more news. We had another remix, which is usually typical of a Wednesday post, and it was the Gear Up 4, and it was the Fire Emblem Heroes remix. It's the first mobile anything from a mobile game in Smash.
Well, I point this out all the time. Fire Emblem's a solid series and a rising series, but it's not actually a huge series. Like, I think Awakening sold maybe just at 2 million. I don't even know if we don't think we have any official numbers that say it broke 2 million. Animal Crossing games that sell a lot, for instance, sell 10 million, 12 million. Yeah. So people try to think of it as a giant franchise. It's not. Except for Heroes. Heroes makes so much money because it's one of those gacha games, and Fire Emblem is perfect for that. And it's actually by far the most successful Fire Emblem game. So it makes sense to have some sort of representation. I don't know about this remix. It's a little weird how it like speeds up so much. But I don't know. I played Heroes for about a year, maybe. Switched phones. And never like reinstalled it. So.
Yeah. I played it for about like 2 months, and then after that I was just like, I'm done.
I mean, it's fun. I mean, yeah. The thing is, like, I never played it. Like, when it first came out, I played it a lot, and then I just kind of, whenever they gave me some of those orbs, or whenever there was an event, I'd play, and I'd try to log in daily for a while. But yeah, it's a fun game, and I know some people still play it a lot. But I don't spend money on those sort of games, and I don't have a lot of patience for them. But it is super successful, so it's cool to see something. And I definitely recognize that music from the little like lobby area sort of thing from Heroes. But yeah, it is kind of weird. Like I said, how it speeds up the way it does. But I don't know. Maybe it's something I just need to hear a little bit more. I just can't imagine like fighting to it.
Yeah. I think it's going to be pretty weird because it's going to be like series-based for like music selection. So that means that you can select this song on any Fire Emblem stage. And so in some ways the music won't be necessarily tailored for that stage.
What sucks is that there's some series that I love the music for. Right off the bat, I'll say the third parties, such as Street Fighter, definitely Castlevania and Mega Man. Which, you can listen to the music on any stage. There's one stage. There's tons of music. Because I think Street Fighter actually has more music now than Castlevania.
It has
36 tracks.
36, yeah.
So that's impressive, and Street Fighter has some good music. I would definitely put Castlevania above that. I think Castlevania might be my favorite video game music personally. It's up there. It's one of like a top 5 for me. And what sucks is I feel like Smash right now would have all of my favorite video game music if they had more than 2 tracks from Final Fantasy VII. If they actually had actual Final Fantasy music, but what are you gonna do?
It's unfortunate.
Yep. First thing that the modding community is gonna do.
Yep. Add all the songs back in.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I wanted to ask you about is, what do you think about other mobile games getting into Smash in some sort of way? Like, obviously through songs, or through maybe a stage, or an item, or something like that. Like, there's been a lot of Nintendo mobile games. Like, there's Miitopia. Or not Miitopia. Miitomo. Then there was Super Mario Run. And Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
Well, here's the thing. Super Mario Run just used new Super Mario Brothers assets, so there's nothing that can really made it in from that game. Playable Daisy.
Yeah, there you go. Well, they could have the remix song.
I mean, I guess so, but I mean that game wasn't. Yeah. That game did well, but it wasn't like a runaway success. There was nothing too different from Mario. I wouldn't see it. I don't actually remember if Miitomo had any music that wasn't like from something else, but I could see that getting in on like the Tamagotchi Life or. Are all of the Mii stages like? Is Wii Fit, Find Me, and Tamagotchi Life? Are they part of the same series? Because they're all Mii games, and
no idea, obviously.
And as well as Woohoo Island. Technically, shouldn't they all share music? Because they're all me?
Yeah, it's going to be really annoying if you can only
Yeah.
pick like certain songs on those stages.
But I mean, they share a lot, I guess. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I also wonder if like we had remixes from Golden Sun on Norfair and on Coliseum.
Yeah, there's also wonderful one-on-one music on the Mario Galaxy stage.
Right. So is that going to be used for any Mario stage, or
Yeah,
is that going to
like
be
how's that
in
gonna
others
work?
now? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Will
really-
the others just be on any stage then?
Yeah, and there was that what was that DS game, that Hercules RPG, JRPG, what was it
Oh,
called?
the Glory of Hercules or something like that?
Yeah, like there's a song for that on
The
Coliseum.
Fire Emblem?
Yeah, and Xenoblade has oh god, I'm blanking for that. It's like a card-based RPG on GameCube by
Card-based art.
Namco.
Gotcha
Angel-looking guy. I think it was card-based. I honestly never played it. I've just what's that Bandai Namco game? I don't know. I'm gonna look that up real quick. But it's a really good remix. I like the song a lot on the Xenoblade stage. Bait and Kaitos. Or Bat and Kaitos, yeah. So if they ever did add a Tales of character, I bet you they'd put that song on that stage. I don't think they will.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. I just I'm not a believer in that.
Yeah. One thing, speaking about music, is that in the latest Famitsu column, Sakurai talked about the music compression and being able to fit as many songs as he wants on the game.
Yeah.
And one thing that he said that was kind of interesting that I don't think a lot of people notice is that he said, like, the days of music getting cut because of space is over.
Yeah.
So does that mean that we're just getting all the tracks from Smash for Wii U and 3DS just back automatically?
Every song is here.
Yeah.
The next Smash Direct's just going to be 12 minutes of him listing every song.
Yeah.
Just like a giant scroll. Yeah, probably. I wouldn't doubt it. I do think that we can talk about this a little bit later. That the stages are fixed for now. That's what we're gonna get.
Yeah.
So yeah. But anyways, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that was it. I'm sorry. I kind of went off on a little tangent there. I just couldn't remember the name of that series, but it's Batten or Baten Katos. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the next update was the Togedemaru Pokemon, and I always feel like that's like a mouthful for like non-Japanese speakers.
Yeah, it's a little gray dude. He's like he's like a Pikachu.
Yeah, he's a fat Pikachu.
Yeah, there's always a new Pikachu.
Yeah.
Did he replace Dendade?
No, I think the other one's still in there.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm wondering how many Pokemon are being brought back from Wii U and 3DS, but we'll see. I saw him in when I was playing with Mango Viking at E3. He came up before, so he's all right. Yeah. Just an electric type Pokemon, doesn't attack, you know.
Yeah, when I got to play at the Jump Victory Carnival, the first assist trophy I got was actually Sukopan.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I have not seen Sukopan. I saw Takemaru and I shed a tear. I think Takemaru, just between us, just between us and everyone listening.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is gonna be public.
I think he would have gotten in if this was a more traditional Smash cycle.
Yeah, I think. Well, maybe we can talk about this more later about echoes and stuff like that. But let's go ahead and carry on with this week, and that's the next one is Duck Hunt, and yeah, Duck Hunt's back.
Yeah. He's another one that's not very changed. I feel like a lot of the newcomers from Smash Wii U aren't that changed up, especially the DLC ones. I mean, they have a lot of quality of life changes, and you know, a lot of frame data and stuff like that changes. But you look at like, we haven't seen much on Shulk, but for instance, they're like, yeah, look, he has new mechanics, or they simplified his mechanics, or they streamlined it. Is probably a better way of putting it. But you look at him and he looks basically the same. So I feel like a lot of the characters that were worked on. This almost feels like this doesn't feel like a port, but you know what this does feel like? A continuation.
Yeah, like if an expansion pack.
Exactly. It feels like an expansion pack. That's a great way to put it. You know, it's kind of like a game with like a 7-year dev cycle. They had a couple little breaks, but then the same team comes back and they work on more content for it. So the stuff that the same team, the stuff that they had worked on more recently, I feel like is getting a little bit less attention than, you know,
which
going
makes
back.
sense.
Yeah, of course. But that's why this game seems like it has so much polish, and I think that's also why I kind of see it as, you know, it's Smash Ultimate. It doesn't have everything from Smash 3DS and Wii U, and it's not a port, but I still see it as kind of a continuation of that. So the amount of content is kind of staggering.
Yeah.
I always wonder what it's going to be like, because if you look at the sales numbers, we know that a good number of people bought both the 3DS and Wii U versions. And even if you combine them all individually, it's still less than Brawl. There's definitely going to be people that are coming back whose last Smash game was Brawl, and if this is your first Smash game since Brawl, this is ridiculous.
For tweet.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I kind of said this a couple times, but like, I feel like after Smash Ultimate comes out, I can just throw away all the other Smash games.
I mean, I'll tell you this: I don't feel like I'm ever gonna play Smash Wii U again.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I want to mess around in Subspace, and Melee has Melee mechanics, so if you want to play Melee, you know, you can play Melee. But yeah, like Smash Wii U is kind of, unless you really like Smash Tour, for all three of you out there, or you want to mess around with custom moves, which I do like customs, especially for certain characters like Mega Man in particular.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. They haven't said if customs were coming back or not, I believe. Like, they haven't been official confirmation, but it appears that they're gone.
Yeah, if I had to bet money on it, I'd say they're gone because of the way Palutena's been retooled and the fact that it hasn't been brought up.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the Mii's still have them, but everybody else, they should just make 2 echoes for Mega Man and give them the rest of the moves.
There you go.
Yeah, unless you... Those are really the only reasons. Or if you really like one of those 4 stages that were cut. Or was it 5? It's,
it's the orbital gate assault.
Right.
The Yoshi's Woolly World.
Jungle Hijinks. Pyrosphere and Miiverse.
Yeah. And my Miiverse you can't really use anymore.
Yeah, and Miiverse. Yeah, now that everything has a battlefield mode that super screw Miiverse.
Yeah.
So I would say, and you know what? I could see some of those stages maybe come back as DLC. Although I feel like Orbital Gate probably can't handle like 8-player status smash and stage morph. Jungle Hijinks probably has issues with stage morph. Pyrosphere was taken out because of Ridley, and they don't feel like reworking it.
Yeah.
Which leaves only Woolly World, which I guess could have had problems, technical problems, or it might have just been like, we don't have time, nobody likes the stage.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see if we have DLC, because it's still not a guarantee. I think it's likely.
I think it's super likely. Yeah. I'd be very surprised if they don't.
Well, yeah, Sakurai directly said that he works on Smash when Nintendo wants him to work on Smash.
Yeah.
And they're gonna want DLC.
Oh yeah. Like, Smash for Wii U and 3DS made so much money. I remember, like, one of the first, like, source casts that we've done. You had, like, this you said this thing with, like, Nintendo just turning Sakurai's chair around and pushing him into the next Smash.
Yeah, and that, I think, is what is happening.
Yeah. Well, there's actually one post that I missed, 2 posts that I missed, and those were the memory posts that I translated on the Source Gaming Twitter. The first one is about the Kid Icarus Uprising, and surprise, surprise, includes a stand. And,
which I got. It's a nice stand.
Yeah. It still doesn't help me play it. It's such a difficult game to play.
You know what, too? I feel like the actual combat would have been a lot better, like the ground combat with controllers too, if it was based around controllers. I'd like to see that game completely remastered and redone and changed for traditional controls. I liked it a lot. I'm a big fan of that game, but I feel like it would be better on a traditional console.
Yeah, I think so too. And then the next memory post was for Duck Hunt, and Duck Hunt in Japan came out with a real looking gun, not a real gun, but it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So those are your memory posts for this week. And the last post was Alucard.
Yes.
Yeah, which I feel like is totally your zone. This is the reason that you're here.
I like the Alucard assist trophy. I like how and I talked about this in my conversation with Wolfman. The logical thing to do is to give Alucard the Alucard sword and shield, which are kind of his iconic weapons. And like if you go into like a game like Castlevania Judgment or anything like that, he's always equipped with them because they're his traditional weapons, you know? But they gave him the Chrysogrim because that is a broken sword from Symphony of the Night. The players who play Symphony of the Night are like, yeah, once you get this, like, it literally makes the game a joke. It attacks so fast that you just kind of hit the button and you just like kill everything immediately. It's hilarious. So he basically gave the assist trophy the most broken weapon in the game. It's like equipping him with like, yeah, it's hilarious. I think that was a really funny touch. I think he looks great. It's a perfect representation for him. He has his mist form. He has his little backdash. He has his bat transformation, which is important not only because of it's something he does in Symphony, but it was actually his main gimmick in Castlevania 3. I think a lot of people forget this because they're like, he's a PlayStation character, and A, that doesn't matter, but B, his design and most famous appearances from Symphony of the Night, but his first playable game is actually on the Nintendo Entertainment System or the Famicom. It's Castlevania 3. That's where he appeared. It was on a Nintendo system. And yeah, he shot 3 fireballs and he turned into a bat. And that's the only thing that's a little that I would say, it's a little weird that they didn't include that. Is that in his first appearance he shot the fireballs. Also, I think in one of the I always get the two Sorrow games mixed up. The one that's on the DS, I think there's a mode that replicates Castlevania 3, and I think he also does the fireballs in that. And in Symphony, if you do kind of like Shoryuken Dragon Punch thing, he teleports and does the fireballs. And I thought that would be, one of his attacks as well. But that's more of like if he was a playable character. Like, you can't give everything to him. He already does so many different things and feels like Alucard.
Yeah.
And also they have Dracula that does that, so you don't need 2 characters to do that.
Just in general, the assist trophies have like been really like revamped. Like they do so much more in this game.
Yeah, I really hope we get because there's some that I just don't see getting in as playable characters now, but I still really hope our assist trophies. Saki from Sin and Punishment.
Yeah. Prince Sabale.
Right. Dylan from Dylan's Rolling Western. I don't think we're going to see any of those playable right now. And I'd be really sad if they weren't in, because they're cool games that deserve representation in Smash, and these are special guests. And when they get cut, it sucks. I would rather have Isaac as an assist trophy than no Isaac. And I know some people, because I love Bomberman. Bomberman was people know I've wanted Bomberman forever. I'd rather have Bomberman in as an assist, and he looks like an awesome assist trophy. Like, he's another one. Him and Zero both look great. I'd rather have them in as assist trophies and not in at all. The only thing is, and I get this, because of DLC, it makes it so they can't be DLC. So that's the problem. With, like,
not necessarily. Like, it's less likely to happen.
With Bomberman in particular, I'll say this. His role can literally be taken by like Pretty Bomber or Max or whoever. Like, if he did get in his DLC, they could literally make any of the other Bomber characters that assist trophies.
Black Bomberman.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. There you
go. I will say this because I think the reason I say this is because I think because of the intense outcry of Waluigi fans, I think it's going to be like something that Sakurai can't really ignore with DLC.
I don't get it, man. I kind of like Waluigi. I play as him sometimes in the spin-off games. He's really fun in Strikers, but I'd be lying if I said I understood why like people are that passionate. He's just he's just a spin-off character. I shouldn't say that. Like I said, I like him, but like don't send death threats to creators over Waluigi.
The fact that the Washington Post wrote about Waluigi, I think, is a big deal.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh, I wanted to point this out. I thought this was funny. So I was going over and watching some of our old videos, and I watched, and this was, I think, in November of 2017, Nintendex released the top 10 third parties. And even though this was released in November of 2017, I think we compiled the information like months earlier. It just didn't get to the get to the video forever. And Bomberman was number 1 on there, and hey, at least he made it. Number 3 though was Simon Belmont, which number 1 is funny because a lot of people were like, nobody said anything about Simon. I'm like, I don't know, man. We were saying Simon for a while. We were saying he was pretty likely for a while. But number 2, there's a part, and I took a little screen cap of it. Maybe I'll tweet it out later. Maybe we can include it here. Who knows, for fun.
Yeah.
Where Nantengix was talking about, well, something about Castlevania is that there's a lot of characters, and there's other characters that we could see getting in besides Simon. And there's a picture with Richter, Simon, Alucard, and Dracula. And he talks about those 4. And I'm like, that's pretty good. All 4 of those characters got in one way or another.
I feel
and
like
that's another thing. We brought up Richter then too as a possible playable character. So if anyone says nobody, like if you follow Castlevania, Richter makes sense because Richter's probably the 3rd. I'd say it's Trevor, Richter, and Simon are like the 3 most popular ones. But Trevor is a little too similar to Simon in a lot of ways, and is from kind of the old series. And Richter is kind of the bridge between the old series and the like explorative platforming Metroidvania ones, you know?
Yeah. I will say this, I know absolutely nothing about Castlevania, and that's why you're here.
for that one? Yeah, I can go now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
No, yeah.
No. Yeah. I mean, like, Castlevania is such a long-standing series, it just makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And it's one of those where it's an important, like I said, Metroid and Castlevania, literally between the two of them.
Metro Castlevania.
Yeah, they defined a genre. So it's a long-standing, important series, and it's also one of those where, like Mega Man, even though it's a series that stands on its own and has its own historical importance, it's also, in the early days, practically a Nintendo series.
Yeah.
You know? It's not like Metal Gear, which had its starts in the MSX, you know, it's literally like, when you thought of it, like, that's why he was on Captain N, when you thought of Konami, you thought of Castlevania, when you thought of Castlevania, you thought of the Nintendo Entertainment System, so, anyways.
Well, I feel like, Konami, when Sakurai approached Konami for Castlevania and, you know, Metal Gear Solid and Bomberman, they were just like, yeah, take whatever you want.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I was explaining to people.
Yeah.
People said he's not going to want to work with Konami, or I'm like, okay, I can see that. Or like Konami is hard to work with. I'm like, I don't know about that though. I don't know about all that.
They just want money.
Right. It's not like, I feel like Square Enix is super protective of their properties. Konami's like, okay, so you want to do something cool with our characters, and you want to pay us money, so you're going to give us advertisement money, and we don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
All right.
We just have to keep quiet about it.
Yeah, that's exactly why they licensed out stuff to, like, I know that they made Bomberman and all that, but like, there's some information going around that also it's because Nintendo approached them to make a Bomberman and helped assemble some staff from Hudson Soft, and that's why it was an exclusive for a year or whatever. So like, and then what was it, Momotaro?
Momotaro Densetsu, like Nintendo like develop it themselves or something.
Yeah, and Konami's like, sure, man, whatever. You guys will do a good job. We're gonna.
Yeah, we trust you.
Yeah, especially with Bomberman and everything. I feel like they're just like, yeah, dude, just do whatever you want, guys. Just have fun.
Yeah.
Whereas Square Enix, I don't know, man. I don't know. I hope we get some more. You know what my ultimate dream is?
Yeah.
My ultimate dream is for DLC. We get like a Dragon's Quest character with a stage, and then he'll come with an assortment of Square Enix music that will also be shared with Cloud Stage.
There you go.
That's not gonna happen.
Well, let's actually talk about stages, because that's something that we kind of teased about a little bit, and I'm sure that's something that a lot of people are very curious about. So, I'm of the belief that we won't get any stages besides the ones that we've seen, because Sakurai has went out of his way and counted all the stages.
Yeah, has Sakurai ever provided us with a number and then provided us with another number later? I don't think that's happened. The only time that he's provided a number was at the end of Smash for Wii U and 3DS DLC, in that final video presentation where he was like basically boasting, like, look how much content I gave you guys.
and it just went on for like a minute of like all these numbers. Like you have like 50 Mii Fighter costumes, and you have, you know, so many characters and so many stages and so many hours of music. And like you've seen that with his music, like he gives like over 800 hours of music. But with stages, he's not saying it's over 100. He's saying it's 100, and then he's saying it's 103 if you include the other battlefields,
right?
And then 104 if you include the training. So
then he reiterated in the Famitsu column where he's all like, "Our goal was 100, and we hit our goal." And that's actually kind of a ridiculous number of stages. Also, because like if you actually look at them, like Game Explained did a great series, where they compared the stages from. Wii U and from Brawl and from Melee and everything, and even from Wii U, they definitely remade like all of the stages. They didn't just port them over. So yeah, like I think we have a ridiculous amount of stages. I'm a little upset disappointed that we didn't get more original stages. That might be coming with DLC.
Well, one possibility is like, you know, Nintendo's been really doing like this thing where they do like DLC like as like a season pass kind of thing. Or not a season pass, but like they release it kind of regularly to keep people interested in the game.
Yeah, like a games as a service sort of model.
Yeah.
Like you bought the like Splatoon and ARMS where they just keep releasing stuff.
Why not do that with stages?
I could see them doing that. You know, it would be really great, and I feel like kind of ideal and a great way to satisfy the fan base and also still make money is that you can release some stages and release Echo Fighters that way, and then still have. Or maybe even assist trophies, and then have a season pass for new fighters, for brand new fighters with brand new like third-party stages and stuff like that. And that way, like, or how about this? How about some of those returning stages and Echo Fighters and assist trophies as free content, and then brand new stages and brand new fighters as paid DLC.
Yeah. Because, like, I mean, like, with the Smash for Wii U and 3DS, they had that Conquest mode as, like, kind of, like, one of their incentives to keep people playing, but I don't think they really implemented it that well.
Oh, and Miiverse was a free...
Yeah, Miiverse was a free stage as well.
Yeah, it sure was a free... I was never a fan of Miiverse. All it did was spoil movies for people.
Yeah. The infamous trolling and Star Wars ending.
I need to apologize to everybody. I know we're, like almost 40 minutes in, but I am a little sick this morning, so.
Oh, I hope you feel better.
Yeah, I just hope I sound all right. Anyways.
Yeah. So is there something else that you want to talk about with the stages?
I don't know. I hope. I mean, people are always like, oh, whatever, you're wrong, this or that. I'd love to be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we get more. I don't feel it. It's like the Ridley Shadow thing. I'm like, yeah, I'd love for Ridley to be playable, but it sure does seem to me like he's a boss. So
yeah, no. If I'm wrong, I'll be ecstatic because I mean, we already have 100 stages.
Yeah, and
over
the more we get, obviously the better. I'm not going to complain, especially for new characters. And also, if you look at it on the website, it's not that it resizes when you move it, and it's not like completely filled, but it looks like it's done.
I mean, I wouldn't count too much on the website.
But this is what I'm saying. It's not. Yeah. The stage area isn't created in a dynamic way, like characters and items, where it's obviously designed to accept more. This looks like it was designed to be all of them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
It was definitely designed at max resolution to show them all, and it's.
Yeah, I'm just a little iffy about using the website for proof or anything because that just brings flashbacks to like Wolf is coming as DLC for Smash for Wii U.
Yeah, I do think that since every stage has to do eight player Smash with 16 ice climbers.
Yeah, I'm really curious about how that's gonna work
at 1080p and all of that.
60 frames per second.
I think that's why some stages may not have made it. Specifically, Orbital Gate Assault. That was such an in-depth stage. I'm telling you, Push. It's not like I kept telling people, and Colin and I talked about this. The CPU for the Wii U is awful.
Yeah,
it's awful, and that's where a lot of the processing, all the processing for this sort of stuff goes for these physics. And then on top of that, this has a lot more RAM. So I can understand why, like, the Switch in certain areas is a big step above the Wii U. The thing is, it's not the GPU really isn't.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't always see the graphic improvements, but you do see a lot of other improvements. So I can definitely see how that's going to work. I wonder if Fountain of Dreams is still going to have the reflection, and if Wii Fit Studios is still going to have the reflection, or if they're going to dumb it down, because that would be 16 ice climbers.
Or Luigi's Mansion being able to break.
Yeah, that'd be 32 ice climbers, right?
Yeah.
16 plus,
Yeah. Your Switch will actually catch on fire.
But hey, man, if it handles those reflections fine, then I mean, just think about the improvement from this to the. And I know some people will say, well, they didn't say that ice climbers couldn't work on the. But 8-player Smash
really pushed the Wii to the limit.
Yeah, they had to remove bones from models. They had to remove features from stages. And if that's not what happens this time, then you can definitely say, wow, this is a.
Yeah. If the Wii Fit trainer has all her thumbs,
all of the bones in her thumb,
then this is already a step up.
I think most of the stages that made it back are great stages. I don't have the list of stages that didn't make it in front of me. There's a couple that I think 3DS only had 2. But it sucks because they were good ones. Rainbow Road. And Pac-Maze. I understand Pac-Maze. People are like, well, Golden Plains came back. I'm like, yeah, but Pac-Maze had like a specific gimmick where the ghosts would only hurt you, or wouldn't hurt you, but they would hurt everybody else. And
I think we talked about this in that stage discussion video.
Yeah, which is why that one is out. And I think when it comes to like Mute City, Melee, and Poke Floats and Rainbow Road, I think they actually used old textures for those for those games. Like I think they actually ripped those textures from other games. I think Mute City might have actually been like redone a little bit from 64, and I know that Rainbow Road was from the 3DS game, and I know Poke Floats was from Pokemon Coliseum. I could be wrong about Mute City, but regardless, that would take so much work to retexture all 3 of those.
Yeah, and they probably, like with Mute City for the SNES, like it looks authentic. Like it doesn't, like they don't have to do anything to really revamp it because it should look like that. Whereas like Rainbow Road, they might have to update it.
Yeah, so that's kind of the problem with those. Like, I mean, the thing is, when you look at this list, you kind of see why all of the stages weren't brought back for the most part. Like we already talked a little bit earlier about why some of the Wii U stages wouldn't be brought back. I would really like to see, because I actually really like Jungle Hijinks too.
Yeah, that was actually one of my favorite stages.
Yeah, Jungle Hijinks. Orbital Gate sometimes is fun, but like it's funny because that's one where like if I'm playing with my friends, I'm like, let's play this stage because whatever it mess around. But if we're playing random and it comes up, we're like, oh my god, why is it this stage? And it got rid of the 2 vertical stages. The Donkey Kong one for Brawl. I don't remember what it's called.
The one that's awful. Yeah.
Yeah, and also the one for Melee, which was my least favorite Melee stage, Icicle Mountain.
Yep.
So, yeah, and I think those would probably be bad for Stage Morph.
Yeah, because it would be very difficult to figure out. Yeah. Because
of how it loads in chunks, and also be hard to retexture everything, and also they suck.
Yeah.
They're like 2 of the least like I've never seen anybody be like, what stages I love, and I'm sure somebody will say it now in the comments, but are those 2 stages. So
yeah, those are the only stages I like.
And I feel like I'm probably forgetting 1 or 2, but I feel like for the most part, besides the Wii U ones we brought up, which is Pyrosphere for Ridley, Miiverse for Miiverse not existing, Jungle Hijinks, and what was the
you're talking about Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yeah, Yoshi's one that I don't know what's going on. Maybe like I think it's more technically demanding than a lot of people think, so that could be part of it.
I mean, we read that post on Smashboards. I think that you sent it to me, where it loads it, like it creates it like in real time or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean that was just somebody saying something on Smashboards. So I don't know how much I believe that or not. But I mean I could buy it. I'll say that. I'm like, sure, that sounds reasonable enough. So yeah, there's reasons for all of those, and then everything else is like one of the Picto chats isn't in there because we have the other Picto chat, Mario.
Same with flat zone.
Exactly. And then the Mario, what's the one? Because we got the one from 64.
We didn't get the other 1-2
from Melee. No, but I'm sure that's in. We haven't seen it, but like I would.
It wasn't in the 3DS version.
I know, but like with everything being brought back, what I was actually talking about was it called Mushroom Kingdom? The one that was in N64 and then in Melee. The first one was made by Sakurai's wife. That's the one that got brought back. And then Melee, they made a different one with a different platform layout, but it's still
Mushroom Kingdom 2. Or Mushroom Kingdom. It's still called Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah. So that Melee one wasn't brought back because of that. Planet Zebes and Sector Z are both reminiscent. They're different enough. Don't get me wrong. Like, I would like them because they are different, but they're reminiscent of their Melee counterparts, which are so yeah, I mean, like, you can kind of see down the stage, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some of them come back from DLC.
I feel
for
like
the most part,
there's not much to bring back.
No. Unless they can figure out something. But you know what's funny? I could see them, like, kind of like how they did with only bringing Pirate Ship to the Wii U and not 3DS. I feel like if everything that's here can be used for 8-player Smash and for Stage Morph, that's fine, but I could see them being all like, these 2 special stages we're bringing back as Orbital Gate and like Jungle Hijinks or something, but unfortunately they can't be used for these stages. That way you could, for the base game, you can still say everything works, and then if you add stuff from DLC that doesn't work, it's not a big deal. Because it's different if you had to say almost every stage works for 8-player Smash. This way they can say everything works for 8-player Smash, and then if they bring something in that doesn't, then that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm sure that, Ice Climbers work with 8-player Smash, because they didn't say.
Oh yeah, no, 100% they do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple. I would have liked to see stages from series that didn't get a lot of representation. I
mean, like the third parties, I feel like they're kind of lacking in stages.
Yeah, and then I would have loved to see like a Bomberman stage or a Mega Man X stage. Would be awesome because we have assist trophies from those series. If let's say Isaac doesn't get in, I would still like which I don't think he will. He was one of my most winner brawls, but I don't think he's getting in. I would love to see like a Golden Sun stage. That would still be cool. There's no reason that stages can't happen from series without playable characters.
I mean,
Dylan's Rolling Western. That is a super awesome. It has great music and it's a super great type of location.
I swear, people forget that. Like in Brawl, we had like Animal Crossing.
Yeah, Yeah, you don't need to have it. So that's or technically Wrecking Crew. I guess now. People don't think about it because it's a classic series, but that wasn't done like a classic stage. It was done like it wasn't done like how Mario Bros is done or 75.
It has its own icon.
Yeah, or Takamaru's not in, but Mysterious Murasame Castle stage would also be awesome. Like, I wanted more stuff like that, and we didn't get it. And like stages, we should move on from this, but I'm gonna say this: stages is one of the most impressive things in here. In Smash Ultimate, but in a way it's also one of the most disappointing for me because I don't think we're going to get a lot more, and I like seeing new stages and having new things. Yeah.
The number is very impressive because it's like basically double of Wii U, and like my problem with Wii U is like I never had any like stages I really wanted to play.
Right.
And now with this
Stage
version,
Morph and Hazard Toggle and Battlefield mode, a
lot of quality of life improvements.
Yeah, and I'm super happy to see a lot of these old Melee stages because the stages in Melee were probably my favorite because they had a good mix of having like a fun gimmick but not like
the front and back stages.
Yeah, it's like like Brinstar Depths, for instance. It's like that's a ridiculous stage with a ridiculous gimmick, but it's just like one gimmick. It rolls around, and then you get to what's the name of that stage? It's based on New Super Mario Brothers, where it switches and Nabbit's in it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember the name right now, but in any case, like that stage, like if that was like it's cool, it changes, but then why include Nabbit? Why go like add even more stuff when there's so much stuff in there? Like I felt like Wii U did a little bit too much.
It had a
I
lot
don't
of traveling stages, or stages that would like move from one area to another.
I think it's good to have a couple of those in the game, and now that we have everything back, it's really cool because I actually really liked Skyloft. I liked Pilot Wings and Woohoo Island. What other new ones were there? Because they brought back like the Pilot Wings one, Port Aerodive. They brought back Delfino Plaza, and I'm talking about Wii U right now.
Yeah. Mario Kart.
Yeah, and I like that Mario Kart one too. Yeah, I actually do like
Mario
the traveling
Circuit
stages. Yeah, especially when you have like a bunch of static stages to compare it to. I know, dude, because I feel like I really like Skyloft. Skyloft's one of my favorites. I think I'm going to do a stage morph of Skyloft and Temple because I feel like that's going to give you a nice variety.
Yeah, I don't know. I like having like a static playing field. And like I'm not hardcore at all. I just like I get kind of tired of like feeling like I'm on a roller coaster.
Yeah, but I mean I think they definitely have their place at least. I'm really looking forward to doing Fountain of Dreams and Great Cave Offensive as a stage morph.
Why?
Because I don't know, like how's that gonna work?
Yeah.
It's like one of the most cramped stages and one of the biggest stages. It's going to be hilarious, and it keeps that Kirby aesthetic. It's going to be great.
Well, moving on. I think we're almost at the hour mark, so I think we should probably wrap it up very soon.
Okay.
So, I think we should just really quickly, briefly talk about the Famitsu column that we translated.
All right.
Which was titled "More Information About the Smash Direct." The Source Gaming team translated it. I stayed awake until like maybe 1:30 a.m.
I do want to bring up.
So.
I do want to bring up real quick. There was a leaked summary that came out beforehand that the Source Gaming translation team decided, you know what? Let's not translate this because it's a bad summary that doesn't really give a lot of information and it's a little vague. But then everybody else, Silicon Era and Nintendo, everything, they had to jump on it and translate it, and they translated it wrong.
Yeah.
And that's why it's better to be right than first, number one.
Well, it's also not the first instance of like
Nintendo everything.
Well, I mean, not only them, but like these kinds of columns, they leak very often, and sites will often post summaries of those leaked summaries, but they're not what Sakurai wrote. They're just what someone who's read the column wrote, and so you have it's very easy to misinterpret what he said because you're not translating what Sakurai says. You're translating what this random poster who got a hold of a Famitsu magazine early is saying. So you lose that context.
And the thing is, you might want to do the Sakurai didn't say on this because I still see people saying, "Oh, he's only got 100 people on his team," but he didn't say that. He said that they had 100 stages, which is a huge.
I have it planned for Monday.
Oh, okay, that's a huge difference. I don't
yeah.
know.
So basically, what happened was I don't even know how they messed up on the translation summary, but they somehow like misinterpreted like the sentences and thought that he was talking about workers when he was talking about stages. It's like a totally different counter and everything. Like I don't know.
I don't know, man. But let's get to the actual column now.
Yeah, so in the column he actually talks about quite a bit of things. He talks about Castlevania, he talks about stages, talks about the crew battle modes, and he also talks about King K. Rool.
I think there's a couple interesting things in here.
Yes, some things to highlight. For Castlevania, he says, we wanted to bring like so much content to Smash from Castlevania, which we've already talked about in this discussion. For stages, he mentions that there's our goal to get 100 stages, and some of the stages even took like a year to make, and which is kind of lines up to what he said about Orbital Gate Assault in Wii U. And then he's also talked about the Echo Fighters, Dark Samus being popular in the West, whereas Chrom was very popular in Japan.
Yeah, and, I think that's awesome. I think that and we already kind of knew that with Blue, but he's paying attention to fan demand in the West and the East.
And he says that Echo Fighters aren't just simple reskins; that he gives them their own taunts and victory animations, and then they adjust their abilities and parameters as necessary. So like Dark Samus and Chrom, they actually look more different than Daisy does to Peach.
Yep, I agree. Dark Samus does have a lot of little property changes. I've watched some people kind of dissect it, and I'm sure we'll find even more. But even if she was exactly one-to-one to Samus, her look is so different.
Yeah. Just like that floating, eerie kind of look. It's great. It's fantastic.
Yep. Agreed.
And then Chrom just looks empty. But anyway, and then of course, like, you know, their victory animations, their taunts and everything. And then creating the palette swaps for all the characters. So he says even if it's an Echo Fighter, it's a lot of work. Which is kind of the opposite of what he said about clone characters. Like, he was always talking, like, downplaying clone characters is not taking a lot of work. Now he's trying to upplay Echo Fighters.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Echo Fighters, I think that rebranding was
just probably the best thing that intent. Yeah.
And I want to see more. I want to see Ken. I want to see Shadow. I want to see Dixie. I want to see, just give me all the Echo Fighters. Especially because I feel like once people saw Chrom, they realized that there can be some moveset differences, and then now everybody wants everyone to be an Echo Fighter. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we'll get a few at least.
Well, and then he also talks about music, which we already mentioned, that, you know, they could sacrifice, they could like compress it all into 1/4 of the size.
Which is impressive. I wonder if we're going to get every song. I wonder if every song is here. Probably.
Yeah. I hope they bring back the I No Uta, the Pikmin song that was cut from Brawl.
Yeah.
That was used in the Japanese commercials to promote Pikmin. That's like my favorite song. I would always have that play.
I love that they have the song from the Breath of the Wild trailer. That's like...
Yes, that's the best version of that song.
Anyways.
Yeah, and then he also talks about Squad Strike and the Final Smash meter, which a lot of people were like, oh, he said that it's suited for casual play, so we can't even try it out now.
We'll see. I think judging, like, Squad Strike is still super vague, and I still don't know if you can do it like, can you just keep one controller and everybody controls the stock, or is it going to always pass through controllers? I don't know. Like, I have more questions than I did before.
I believe you can have one controller. Like, I think that's what was mentioned in the Direct.
I mean, I listened to it in the Direct and I saw it on the thing, and I feel like we really don't have... I need more information on Squad Strike. Maybe
we just need to see it being played out or set up and everything.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it was interesting that... well, I'll let you go on with the points in the article, and I'll address them as they come.
Well, is there anything you want to talk about Final Smash meter?
I think it'll be fun. I really want to know how fast it fills up. But I'm definitely going to play it at some points. I'm going to use it. I don't know if it's going to be like something I always keep on, but it's definitely going to be something I try out.
Do you think it's suited for competitive play?
Probably not. I think even if it is, I don't think they're going to do it because those guys don't like to change. They like to kind of keep things together. But I don't know. I would have to see more of it, because the thing is, I feel like sometimes the final, it depends if it's. I'm not a big competitive guy, but for it to be used for competitive play, it has to how balanced they are, because it still seemed like Marth's killed almost immediately. How fast the meters fill up, and what it is that fills the meters up. Does getting hit fill it up more than not getting hit? Things like that, you know.
Yeah, just waiting. Does just time filled up would be a big thing,
right?
Because if you can just wait around, then people will just camp.
Right.
Well, and then the last point was King K. Rool, and he confirms that King K. Rool was a popular character in the ballot, and that's the reason that he's in Smash Ultimate.
I think that's what's cool is that it kind of confirms that the ballot is being, which we were saying since the beginning. Yeah, that the ballot,
which we said even before the ballot ended.
Yeah, that the ballot's being used for picking these characters. So I think this is definitely, and we already see it with a lot of the quality of life changes and a lot of the things that are catering more to the competitive scene, and a lot of the assist trophies and characters we've seen so far for the casual sect, that this is the most fan servicey, like most trying to please the fans Smash ever. And so it makes sense that they would use a ballot. I kind of wonder if that hurt characters, like let's say Ashley and Takamaru, that were already assist trophies because people thought they were DLC, but they were not DLC. I mean, but they were already playable in the game. You know what I mean? Or they were already in. Sorry about that. They were already in the game.
Yeah, I feel like yes and no because I feel like they do have like a general idea of who's popular and who's not. I feel like the ballot is just used to confirm or deny their suspicion, and I feel like they have to know about Ashley and Takamadu.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but I just feel like, or maybe even Waluigi. I'm sure Waluigi got a lot of votes as is, but I feel like you had like the whole Croc the vote thing. I feel like if people thought that DLC. That this wasn't for DLC, that this was for the next game, and that being an assist trophy wouldn't hurt their chances for the next game. You might have gotten more people that... So, for instance, okay, I feel like Daisy may have gotten more votes than Waluigi because Daisy wasn't an assist trophy. Do you know what I mean? Because people were voting just for DLC and not for the next game, if that makes sense.
I personally think they're about the same because, like, you have to remember all the people that are not invested in the Smash community.
That's true.
And like, all those people who, are not thinking about those
about our fan-made rules
fan-made rules and everything like that, and they just want to see their favorite characters in the game. And
that's true.
So I think I don't think it's that big of a factor in my head.
Yeah, I mean that's about it. I know some people were saying that that what was it where someone was saying that they didn't realize K. Rool's fan demand or something, which I agree.
Oh, that was the DK Vine people. So there's this guy. I think his name was like Dave Throat is the name of the person that they're quoting, who is allegedly an informant to DK Vine. I don't know anything about the source or any information behind that. I just know what's been posted publicly about it. And so I believe what he said was that that Nintendo was kind of surprised about the King K. Rool fan demand, and that there was a lot of internal like drama or like behind the scenes about King K. Rool. Like some people wanted to revive him, some people were like kind of apathetic about the character, and that there were some ideas about him being used in Tropical Freeze Switch port, but then Nintendo shot it down. And that's because like Sakurai called dibs on King K. Rool or something like that.
I don't know if I believe that.
I don't know if I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see that they were blindsided by the support for the character and that they'll probably use him in later things. I don't know if Sakurai called dibs, especially because that Tropical Freeze port was kind of a lazy port. I mean, I don't want to make it seem like they didn't do a lot of work, but it wasn't like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They added a character whose model was based off of Donkey Kong. It's not even like they added a Kong that was hard to create. And they already had Funky's model, too. And they just made him as an easy mode, which is not something that would fit K. Rool. So I don't think K. Rool would have been playable. And then I mean, maybe a hidden boss encounter, but even that seems like more work than they did for Funky. Nothing against that port, but something about that doesn't ring true to me, but who knows.
Yeah, it just seems like kind of like just internal like rumors, like workplace rumor. That's what I think of it.
Probably.
Yeah. So, is there anything else that you'd like to quickly touch upon? I know that we didn't even get to talk about Gamescom. But
no, but neither of us were there, so whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure Nintendex and Nerbion will get on a video and talk about something eventually. Yeah, I mean, I guess somebody wanted us to talk about when the next Smash Direct or Smash newcomer would come out.
See, I have the feeling that they're gonna like reveal everything super early. Like I feel like they already, as we talked about, blew their load with all the character trailers and announcing 5 characters in the last Smash Direct. I feel like they're gonna just reveal everything super early, and that's because they don't want like an ERSP leak part 2 to happen.
I disagree. I think that we're gonna have in September, probably mid to late September, we're going to have a regular Nintendo Direct that'll do one more newcomer, and then in November we'll have the blowout of whatever's left. So
yeah, well, see, like they still have quite a bit to announce. Like they still have that mysterious mode to announce. They have to talk more about online play. If Smash Run or Smash Tour is coming back, we don't know if they're not coming back or not. Master Orders, Crazy Orders, those are all things that could very easily come back.
Right.
And there's like just so much more. There's assist trophies. if there's like other characters being represented in that special mode, like what's his name,
Rathalos, yeah.
Yeah, like Rathalos seems like he's just in that mode because there isn't a Monster Hunter stage.
Right, and if we're getting Dracula and Rathalos, I would expect getting some other Nintendo villains and getting some maybe Robotnik or Wily or sorry Eggman. I'd imagine we see some of those characters as well, but who knows?
Yeah, and like maybe even like additional third parties or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a full Subspace Emissary type of mode, but I think like we'll probably get some sort of adventure mode that hopefully incorporates all of those enemies from Smash Run and some more enemies interconnected with actual character battles that are hopefully somewhat themed and boss battles. That's kind of my prediction for that mode.
I mean, like with how much work they're doing with assist trophies, like they could easily reuse those assist trophies. Like now you're gonna fight Knuckles. He has a hitbox, he has a hurtbox, he has a bunch of moves. He's a boss bat. He's a boss fight too. It just makes so much sense.
We could see so much stuff. So yeah, hopefully we see some of that. I don't know. I'm excited to see what it is. I hope people aren't expecting too much more. And I know, like already Sakurai said, don't expect more, and then we got a lot more. But like, just try to hype responsibly and keep your expectations in check.
He said there's only a few more, and then he announced Kincaid. So
yeah, I mean, we could only have, including Echoes, like 2 or 3 more. That we could literally just get 2 or 3 more, and I because I don't think there's any more stages. I don't think we're getting any new third parties or new series characters.
See, because of the stages, that's why I think they're gonna announce everything super early. Because like if they didn't announce all the stages, then I could see them like announcing everything in like late November. But I think everything's gonna be announced before early November.
I think optimistically, like 3 to 4 unique and maybe the same amount of echoes, so maybe like 8 total at like a very, very high top plateau. Realistically, I think we should probably be looking at like 1 to 2 more newcomers and maybe 2 to 3 more echoes at the most, maybe even less than that. Just like I said, hope for the best, expect the worst.
Yeah, let's aim low and then be excited.
Exactly, be pleasantly surprised. So
yeah. Alright, well, thank you guys so much for listening to the discussion. This has been Push Dustin and Spazzy. You can go ahead and follow us by checking out the social media links in the description below. As always, we would like to remind you to check out our other videos and content because we do a lot of stuff on this channel. And I'd like to give a quick shout out to all of our patrons, in particular our super patron, the Do Good Dorks, who is a fantastic individual, and very excited to work with him more in the future.
Alright, thanks guys. See you later.
Alright, see ya.